In this video, we are going to understand how to answer any difficult question on the spot without going blank. You can use this three-step process when your boss has a question for you in front of the whole team, or when a client wants to know something you don't know, or even when you get an interview question you didn't prepare for. If you follow this three-step process, you will never have to worry about going blank again. I have used this in important meetings and while teaching hundreds of students in a classroom. Every time it works. I'm super excited to teach you this. Let's get started. When someone asks you a question, don't rush to answer. Pause. Take a deep breath. Calm down. It's okay. Give yourself a few seconds before you speak. And let me tell you something. Taking a pause doesn't mean that you are a slow thinker or you are not confident. In fact, people won't mind waiting a few seconds if they can see that you are really thinking. Let me show you what I really mean. Suppose you ask me, how can I improve my communication? If I don't take a pause, I might answer like this. Start sending audio messages, talk to the camera, review yourself, and practice tongue twisters to make your words sound clearer. Now, is that answer wrong? No, but that's not my best answer either. Let me answer the same question. This time I will take a pause. How can I improve in my communication? The one thing you can do is this. Step 1, when you are talking to someone you are close to who won't judge you, instead of text, send an audio message. When you get time, listen to it and check your speed, clarity of words, and tone of voice. Step 3, pick just one thing and try to fix it in your next audio message. Keep repeating this process, and by the end of the 100th voice message, you will be surprised by how much you have improved in your communication. Do you see the difference? The second message is so much clearer, helpful, and for the listener, it is so much easier to understand. That's the power of taking a pause. Why taking a pause is so much important? The number one reason is it reduces anxiety. When you feel the need to answer the question immediately, you start to panic. And when you panic, you can't think clearly. So let's change that. Pause. Take a deep breath. It's fine. Calm down. Once you are calm, now you are ready to think clearly. That brings us to step 2. See, our goal is to give maximum value to the audience. And that's only possible if we give the best possible answer. Now tell me which one is better. This is how we think. If someone asks you a question, you don't think, you just say the first thing that comes to your mind. That is option 1. Option 2 is you take a few seconds to understand the question, you collect your thoughts, organize it, and then you answer. Which option is better? You tell me. Obviously, it's option 2, right? That's how you avoid regretting later. Oh, I should have said that, or I could have given a better answer. So, take a pause, think clearly, and give the best possible answer. Number 3, when you pause before answering a question, people can see that you are actually thinking about the answer. That will help them the most. It shows you are putting in effort for them and not speaking for the sake of speaking. People notice that. That shows the audience that you care for them. That brings us to point number 3. It shows the audience that you genuinely care. Because of these 3 reasons, the quality of your answers improves a lot. Now, there are 2 types of pauses. The first one is the confident pause. Over here, you stop and think. You might look up, you might look down, or you might look to the side. That's okay. The most important point is you stay calm and still. That's what makes you look confident. The second type of pause is the negative pause. This is what you should avoid. When you keep moving your body, fixing your hair, adjusting your clothes, looking around, moving your fingers, It makes you look nervous. It shows the audience that you don't know the answer and you are anxious. So stay still. I keep telling this in every single video. Your body speaks faster than your words. Now let's look at a clip of Steve Jobs. Watch how he took a 19-second pause before answering a student's question.
A few more in, yeah.
What's the most important thing that you personally learned at Apple that you're doing at Next?
Good question. I'm not sure I learned this when I was at Apple, but I learned it based on the data when I was at Apple. And that is, I now take a longer-term view on people. In other words, when I see something not being done right, my first reaction isn't to go fix it. It's to say, we're building a team here, and we're going to do great stuff for the next decade, not just the next year. And so what do I need to do to help so that the person that's screwing up learns versus how do I fix the problem? And that's painful sometimes. And I still have that first instinct to go fix the problem. But that's taking a longer-term view on people is probably the biggest thing that's changed. And then I don't know, that's, maybe the part that's biological. But yes.
That's a confident pause. Let's quickly summarize whatever we have learned till now. While answering difficult questions, the first thing you need to do is take a pause. Why? Because pauses reduce anxiety. It helps you to think clearly and come up with the best possible answer. And number 3, it shows the audience that you care. There are 2 types of pauses. Confident pause and negative pause. You are supposed to take a confident pause and avoid negative pause. While answering questions, you will often face this problem. You have got so many things to say, but you don't know where do you start from. So you try to say everything. That's when people get confused. So here is what you do. Just tell them the one thing that will help them the most. For example, if someone asks me, how should I improve my communication? I'm not going to give them 10 different tips. I'm going to give them the one thing they can start doing today. Now, remember this, one thing doesn't mean it's the only thing. It just simply means it's the most helpful thing right now. The next question is, how do you explain an idea in a way that's easy for anyone to understand? And that's where the third step comes in. When you answer a question, always answer with a plan. When you answer with a plan, it does 2 things. Number 1, you will know exactly what to say next. And number 2, your audience will understand and remember your message much better. This 4-step process is going to be a plan. When you answer any question, I want you to follow this process. Trust me, it's going to change the way you answer questions. Let's see how it works. Step 1, tell them your main point. In step 2, give them the reason why you told them the main point. Step 3, explain with an example. And step 4, remind them of the main point again. I will give you one example. If someone asks me, how should I speak more clearly? I'm going to tell them this. The one thing you can do to speak more clearly is to practice tongue twisters every day. Because tongue twisters train your mouth to say difficult words more clearly. The more you practice, the more clearer your speech becomes. For example, try saying, Betty bought some butter, but she said the butter is bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. A bit of better butter will make my batter better. So it was better. Betty bought a bit of better butter. Initially, you will struggle. That's okay. Just practice for 5 minutes every single day, and slowly you will notice that you are able to pronounce difficult words very easily. So if you want to speak more clearly, practice tongue twisters every day. That's it. Did you notice what I did? First, I explained you the idea, then I showed you an example, and then I reminded you of the idea again. That's why it works. It helps you stay on track, speak clearly, and it becomes much easier for the audience to understand and remember your message. So the next time you answer any question, follow this framework. Now, coming back to the most important question. What if someone asks you a question and you don't know the answer? Don't guess, or else you will lose your credibility. Just say, I don't want to rush my answer. Is that okay if I think about it and get back to you? That's fine. Trust me, it works really very well. People don't expect you to know everything. They just want an honest answer. That's how you build trust. Let's quickly recap whatever we have learned till now. The first step is to take pauses. The second step is to tell them the one thing that will help them the most. And when you tell them that one thing, you have to follow this 4-step process. Number 1, tell them your main point. Then you have to explain them the reason why you told them the main point. Then give an example. And then remind them of the main point again so they don't forget. Follow this 3-step process and you will be able to tackle any difficult question on the spot. So if there is one thing that I want you to remember by the end of this video, it would be this. While answering questions, take a moment to think. Focus on one clear idea. Follow a simple structure to explain it. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.